Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Beyond the Case, which is a podcast where global leaders from the Harvard Business School's OPM program join in a personal capacity and they share the real decisions, failures, and mental models that go behind building enduring companies. My guest today is Anik Dharamshi. Anik, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Soen. Thanks
Yeah,
for calling.
absolutely. We did Unit 1 together last month. We had a great rapport, and I think the listeners will learn a lot from everything that you shared on the show today.
Sure, it will be my pleasure to be on the show.
Do you want to introduce yourself and your company and tell us what you do?
Sure. So, my name is Anik Dharamshi, and I'm an executive director in HD Fire Protect. HD Fire Protect is one of the oldest fire protection manufacturing company in India. We manufacture a wide range of water, foam, and gas-based fire protection equipments. Most of the equipments that we manufacture are UL listed, FM approved. These are international certifications, and we are exporting currently in around 90 plus countries.
Who started the company?
This company was started in 1990. It was started by my uncle. He's still working with the second generation, and the second generation, along with my cousin and my brother in law. Three of us are from the second generation, and my uncle is from the first generation who is continuing. My dad retired last year. He was also in the company. So the first and the second generation are currently working together.
So, growing up, you must have seen the early years of HD Fire Protect. What was that experience like, and how did you
So,
know to join the family business?
so fire protection was basically always in my mind, doing good for the society, doing good in terms of delivering good products, letting people have access to world class quality products was always in my mind. That has been always the motto of HD Fire Protect. While growing up, I've seen my uncle on developing a lot of standards and products in this field of fire protection, giving a lot of to the society in terms of having a wide range of products which earlier were not accessible to a lot of crowd. So a lot of products were being imported in India way back in 90s, and the primary reason for this company and its inception was to develop each and every product which were import substitution. So that helped us and also helped the nation save a lot of foreign exchange revenue because of manufacturing these products in India. At a later part, we started exploring if we could go global. At that time, going global with an Indian manufacturing base was not easily accepted. So we need to have an international approval on our products, and we went for international listings. That is Underwriters Laboratory, which is based in US, and also with Factory Mutuals, which is FM approvals, which is also based in US. We took these approvals. Once the product had these approvals, they were at par to the international manufacturing companies who were offering these products. Then the world started seeing products at a much better price of the same quality which they were buying. That's the basic background of the company.
Is your team today 100% in India, or do you have offshore team as well?
So the main team is located in India. Our entire operations are based out of India, but we do have one person based in Singapore and looking after the Southeast Asia, and also one person based in Spain who is looking after the Middle East and the South American market.
How big is your team in India?
We are around 400 odd people in India, around 285 of them on our direct payroll. We have got close to around 150 odd people on the contract basis, primarily on the factory side.
From what I understand, you've done mechanical engineering. Will you talk more about what line of education you selected, why you selected that, and how that might have helped you in your current role?
I was always fascinated with mechanical engineering. My uncle was my mentor and still is my mentor. He did his mechanical engineering. That was the basic background for me to choose one of the engineering. In 2000, it was a year of software which was moving up very fast. Most of my colleagues and most of my other friends were choosing software and computer engineering. I did my engineering from India, and then I continued to do my master's in manufacturing engineering. I did my engineering management from UK University of Birmingham. Once that was completed, I came back to India and I joined the business.
Are you seeing the benefits of your educational qualification in your current business?
Yes, my products are typically all mechanical based, and having engineering background definitely gives a lot of confidence in discussing with my clients, understanding their requirements, and bringing it back to the table, back to the manufacturing technology, trying to understand what kind of products can be manufactured, trying to see what kind of technologies are moving out globally. Definitely, doing mechanical engineering has had a great benefit for me in my career.
Talking about succession, you said the company was started by your uncle, and there's you, your brother, and a brother-in-law. So how do you all look at the conversation on who gets what role and responsibility at the company? Indian families, typically the Gujarati families, I know you're from a Gujarati family, are very cohesive. There's a lot of unity internally. So if you don't mind, talk a little bit about the mindset that goes on behind the scenes on leadership for the next generation, and how those decisions are taken.
Yes, of course. Way back in, I remember 2007 when we joined. I came back from UK and I joined business. My sister and my brother-in-law, they were working in US. They joined in 2008, 9 period. And when we were all in the business, I remember one clear words about my uncle that being in a family business, it is very important that we should understand and respect each other about the roles and responsibilities. One thing is very clear in my organization is the definition of what is the role and responsibility for each one of us. When it is sales, when it is purchase, these are responsibilities that I handle. My sister, she was handling the product development side, the engineering side. My father was handling finance, and later on, my sister is now handling the finance as well. My brother-in-law, he takes care of the international business, most factory decisions pertaining to all the legal matters and the growth as well as the strategy for the company. We are all working with the second and the first generations. The most important point I would emphasize is in family businesses, it's very important that we understand the roles and responsibilities. And if that is very well structured from the beginning, it gives a lot of clarity for each one of us to work on a day-to-day basis.
In terms of personal residence, how close do you all live to each other?
We all have grown up in the same house. In fact, me and my sister, we are my cousin sister, though, but I would still say she's as good as my real sister because we are only 19 days apart. We have grown up together in the same house in a place, Mulund in Mumbai. And she also did mechanical engineering. So later on, she went to US. I went to UK. My brother-in-law, he joined in US with my sister. Then we all came in together to join the family business.
You all grew up together, you all lived in the same house, despite being cousins. And today, you all are leading different verticals of the business. Do you feel at any point that the fact that you all grew up together has helped you all be better leaders within the same company? What are the last part? I'll just start with the question again.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. So you and your cousins grew up in the same house. So you all were with each other for the entire childhood. Today, you all are leading different verticals of the business. Do you feel that the fact that you all grew up together, lived in the same house, has helped you all be better leaders within the same company and led to more unity?
Of course, that adds a lot of point. It's a good question that you have asked. Living in the same house, growing up together, living the entire childhood together, it gives a different thought process when it comes to working together. What happens is in work, a lot of things are said and unsaid, but having known a person from a very long time, you understand what the person thinks, what would be advantage, when to begin a conversation. So these all matters a lot when it comes to doing business with someone whom you are living, you have lived a lot together. Even now, our houses are pretty close by. Like we stay like half a kilometer away from each other, and all of us are within the vicinity of 15 20 minutes from the companies. That definitely adds up a lot of values. Till date, my kids and my sister's kid, they all are of almost the same age group. As we grew up together, they are also growing up together. We go out together for vacations. So definitely there's a bond that we share together. Apart from being in the organization, it's because of reasons that we have lived together. We are cousins. We have had a great part of our childhood memories together.
If it's a second or third generation Indian business, the founding parents have already set certain principles on how to align on decision making, even if you have different points of views, so as to avoid disputes. Are there any such principles that your uncle, your father may have put together saying, hey, if you're in so and so situation, here's how you'll make sure you'll see eye to eye and still move forward?
No, honestly, we have not come across such situations. So, what your question is, I can understand, but we have not come across such situations because we do understand each other very closely. That's an amount of bond that we share, that even though we don't speak at times, we do know each other, what person is going through. So we have actually never come across a situation where I wouldn't looking into the eyes of each other.
You're a second generation entrepreneur. Do you feel somewhere you have big shoes to fill? Are there any expectations from the family that you have to live up to? How does that play on your mind?
Yeah, there's a huge legacy responsibility on us. The responsibility is because we've been one of the most respected organization, not just in India, but globally. Living up to this expectation, keeping up the same legacy, continuing definitely is a point that we look up to. But I'm proud to say that all of us are aligned. We are working in the same line along with the second generation. I mean, the first and the second generation together in the same direction. We all have the similar thought process. We all want our organization to grow. So that way we are pretty much aligned with each other.
How do you separate family life from business leadership, or do you intentionally blend them?
Now, being a business owner, it is very difficult to differentiate business time and family time. Of course, there's a lot of business time even during the family hours. There are no timings as such for business. Of late, I am trying to balance what best can be of the two. Generally speaking, if you are a business owner and business typically built in India, the business owners are generally also having family time and business time. Somewhere the circles of different groups get merged.
Your company has filed with SEBI to go public. What does that milestone mean for your family?
It's a huge milestone for us. Few years back, we had not imagined that our company would plan to go public. This definitely adds a lot of responsibility on us. It was a thought process which came up in last few years. We were working on this from quite some time now. The point was, even before we were going public, our auditors looked at our balance sheets, they looked at our documentations, and they kept saying that even though you are not public, you are almost public ready.
Hmm.
Having read a lot of documents, seeing a lot of compliance being followed by public listed companies and the kind of compliances they do and the kind of compliance not being public that we were doing from the beginning, we were also advised that you are almost public ready. The moment you decide that you want to go public, it wouldn't take you much time, because generally for organizations, it takes a lot of time to go public because of formulation of these strategies, which you need to do once you're public.
How are you going to balance long term vision with the demands of a future public market environment?
Our vision is very simple. It's about growing our organization, making it world class. We have been manufacturing and making world class products in India, and we want to continue manufacturing and also subcontracting a lot of products which the market needs, and keep growing in this industry.
You mentioned you're the president of the Fire Protection Association of India. What trends or risks are shaping the industry?
Recently been elected as the president of Fire Protection Association of India. India as a country, a lot more required from all of us as an individuals to work towards the safety of life, safety of property, safety of all the valuables that we have, safety of each one of us. We are looking forward to making good standards, looking forward to the association's role of having more membership drives, getting a lot of members on board, solving the challenges that are faced by the industry. We are able to solve the challenges that the industry is facing basically. We get a great amount of manufacturing base coming out of India. Globally, when we see the trend of fire protection manufacturing, we see a lot of manufacturers coming out from China. And I would like to see India as a very strong base of fire protection manufacturing companies who are exporting these products globally. Even now, we have a wide range of Indian manufacturers who are accepted globally. As we progress further, we want the country as a whole progresses even more, even much better than what we are today.
What is one misconception that people would have about fire protection or life safety systems?
The unfortunate part is fire protection is not used every day, and the plumbing, HVAC, all these things are used on a daily basis. If your plumbing system doesn't work, your HVAC doesn't work, you start complaining about it. But if your fire protection is not working, you're not even aware in the first place, and most people are very casual about it. This is one thing I would like, the conscious effort from each one of us to begin and think about this going forward. Fire protection is something which is quite neglected globally, though it is a very critical subject and a very, I would say, an area where a lot of development still needs to happen as well. But something that each one of us need to morally understand the industry's requirement, the market's requirement, where we are going, where we are, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's an office, whether it's a building that we are, how safe these buildings are. The more vigilant we are, the more compliant we are. The onus of saving these properties, the onus of making these places fire safe would also come back. So this is something that we look forward to.
What motivated you to pursue OPM at this stage in your career?
I always wanted to do OPM quite few years back. Initially, the idea of OPM came in by my brother-in-law. He has done OPM. He's an alumni of Harvard. He did it around 8 or 9 years back, and he recommended and suggested me about this program. I always wanted to do it, but I always kept thinking that if I have to do this program, it would be a dedicated time that I need to take out of my business and join the program. I'm happy that I joined HBS, and this program is definitely going to help me a lot.
What is the biggest learning or mindset shift from the OPM program?
See, in OPM, apart from the teachings that I had, I also had a great experience listening to a lot of my peers, a lot of my colleagues around, listening to their stories, the kind of challenges that they were facing, the kind of decisions that they were taking in the scenarios that they were into. These actual real life scenarios give a lot of emphasis and a lot of learnings to me, which I can always implement in my business.
Is there any particular professor from the program who left an impression on you?
Professor Deepak Malhotra was the first one whom we met. He's one of the best professors, Professor Raman. And the way Professor Das was teaching, I can also share one more experience. Even on some of the days when I went back and I was speaking to my home and they were discussing about how is your experience, and I could say I was really missing these kind of professors during the engineering days. During the engineering days, it used to be you don't want to attend a lot of lectures, but during the OPM time, you don't want to even miss out a single minute. You want the time to go on for long. You don't want the time to end. That's the best part of the professors in OPM.
Tell me, are there any habits or routines you have that have kept you grounded despite the success your business has seen?
There is one thing that our family believes in a lot is that we reinvest in our business instead of just spending out what we get back from the business. So reinvestment in business is very important. Because of this reason, the organization has grown to the stage where it is today. This is one thing I would say is little different from most other business owners. This is something which I would inherit from my uncle and my father. Spending is good, but then reinvesting the same profits that you earn into your business is something that will help you grow your business even to a much bigger height.
What advice would you give to someone who's stepping in a second generation leadership role?
Second generation business, the first important thing is You need to clearly understand that there has been a legacy that has been created. That's the reason you are joining in. And this is one legacy that you need to continue and keep the flagship on top. Second important thing would be understanding the roles and responsibilities. That is something, if you are able to understand these things very early in your career, it will help you long way. The third thing is when you join as an entrepreneur or as a second generation into the business, the initial years, it is always going to be a lot of learnings from many of your office colleagues. It is important how you take those learnings and move ahead and are able to implement some of them. I remember an example that my father had given me, that I can ask someone to report to you, but that wouldn't make sense at the moment. What would really be important is that you come up to a point, you ensure that people look up to you. You reach to a point where you are able to take decisions which people are not able to, and only then you will earn respect. So there is respect that I can ask people to give it to you, but it is always respect that you will have to learn and earn on your.
Thanks, Anik. You've been very, very open and transparent. There's so many takeaways here. So I appreciate this and wishing you all the success for the future growth of your company. Hopefully, the public journey starts soon.
Thank you, Sohan. It was a pleasure to be on this show. It was a kind of first kind of podcast that I did, and it was quite exciting for me as well.